Welcome to this week's episode of the DLFF Feel Fresh Masterclass every Monday. You can show up live and rock out with us at thedrinklessfeelfresh.com. Today, we are diving into some strategy work. We're diving into a common question I've been asked recently, which is the pros and cons of using non-alcoholic beverages as
Nice.
opposed to just going cold turkey and never drink it again. Now, people sit on two ends of the fence with this. You'll hear a lot of traditional approaches suggesting that you shouldn't touch them, that they can be triggering, they'll lure you into a false sense of security, you'll become attached to them, and before you know it, you
Oh
think you're not a
God.
drinker anymore, so you'll drink, blah, 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 blah. I passionately fall onto, honestly, I do take sides with this one, the other fucking side.
Yeah, smash them.
So we're diving into today. What are the pros and cons of using non-alcoholic beverages on your journey? Should you just cold turkey it and just drink water or nothing? Is it okay to consume no alcohol? And in my opinion, even low alcohol. So there's some great low alcohol brands that are 0.5% of alcohol, which people get a bit confused on. You either have no alcohol or you have low alcohol. Low alcohol, in my experience, has maxed out at 0.5% of alcohol in it. In my opinion, they do seem to taste the best. They give you that contextual sense of something in there.
Yeah.
Just tastes a bit fuller, so to speak. Also, in my opinion, it's never led me to wanting to drink more, etc., etc. But we'll dive into that today. Now, I wanted to ask you straight off the bat. There's a couple of things that we do at DLFF, right? Which is strategy, implementing things, meaning implement things that work, using resources to help yourself through the day, help yourself through the week. And then you've got the other side of the spectrum, which is the deep internal healing work to be done, which you could
Mm.
go as far to say, regardless of your external world, you should be able to manage your emotional and mental
Yeah.
state on your
Yeah.
own without the need to be reliant on things. I just wanted to ask you straight away, man, what are your thoughts on people navigating that line and probably even just today realizing that there's a part of the journey where you're just relying on external stuff and it's okay to use external resources
Totally.
like
Totally.
non-alcoholic
Totally.
beverages
Totally.
to get you through a tough day.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the being working with people in this space, Tommy, with you now, you got to throw out the rule book. There's no rule book here, right? This is a very, very intricate challenge. Is the removal or the limitation of alcohol in your life is so complex and intricate that there's no rule book. And if you want to sit on low to no alcohol beverages and it works, do it. Even if your head's, oh, you can't do this, it's going to be a reliant attachment, blah, 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 blah. If it's stopping you drinking right now, do it. Like everything is a solution at the right time. Everything's a solution.
Geez, that's a banger of a line. Everything is a solution at the right time.
Yeah.
So it probably comes down to more so than when you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, it probably just isn't about anything that someone's using. It's about whether they're being honest with whether it works
That's
or
it.
not.
That's
Because
it. That's it. That's it.
you can have someone who has five, I back them any day of the week, heaps normal low alcohol beers, feel no real alcoholic stimulation, no real negative consequences of what alcohol used to cause for them, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, relationship spectrum, etc., etc. Um, and that worked for them. But then you can have someone else who has two of those and then starts drinking full strength, and then says, "Oh yeah,
And then,
the low alcohol's really worked for me."
yeah, 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 yeah.
So it's really
The-
just
uh,
about being honest. Is it working for me at this time?
yeah, and the reliance thing has to be spoken about because this is so funny. Like I had a great conversation. It wasn't a great conversation. It was a conversation with a client, and he, okay, workaholic, right? Workaholic runs a big civil anyway, massive
Yep, yep.
workaholic, and then is building a house on the weekend. That's what he does. Constant action and movement. He's a party boy. Party boy. He'll go ages without it and then go have a big weekend. Big weekend. We're talking bending.
Yep. Yep.
He's pushed himself so far, right, that he ended up finding himself on like a Wednesday night and a Thursday night having a couple of bumps and a beer just because he couldn't actually get out of his work headspace at all. Couldn't be there for his
Mm,
wife, kid, nothing. Like pretty, it got
mm,
pretty far. And he turns, and I said to him, and then when you're that deep in, there is no, by the way, team, when you're that deep in, there is no psychological strategy. There's no cold bath. There's no, you're not doing that with this type of worker, right? They just, no,
mm,
too far in. I said, mate, have you tried weed before? He's like, yeah, I've got a weed pen, but it's perfect. I come home, it chills me out. I'm way better with the wife. I feel more like I'm really invested in my kid. And I'm like, okay, great. And he's like, nah, I'm not never doing it. Like, why? And he goes, oh, I just don't want to become
mm.
reliant. I'm like, mate,
Oh,
reliant. You're reliant on everything in life. You're reliant on
yeah.
work. You're reliant on coffee. You're reliant on money. What are you talking about? Have a better reliance.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said it, mate, because very few professionals in the industry have sided with me on this one. Of like, and we hear so many clients go, "Oh, I love that." It's like I'm reliant on this many
What?
dysfunctional experiences. I have a solution that'll probably get me away from that style of dysfunction and move me
Yep.
forward in life, but I don't want to become reliant on it. And we hear it a lot. I hear it so much. Oh, Tom, what do you think
Reliant.
about? You've recommended I do a 30-day detox challenge, but like I don't want to be reliant on no alcohol beers to get me through. And I'm always sitting there going, what?
What?
What are you, what? What are you talking about? You're relying on alcohol. Why are you so concerned? What do you want to become the Dalai Lama overnight?
Oh, how funny, eh?
It's such a common experience for someone with high stress, high anxiety, high alcohol
Yeah.
consumption. And it's ignorant. It's not intentional, but like ignorantly wants to overnight become a Buddhist monk, like
Yeah. Yeah.
not
And just be
need
totally
anything.
anything
I, I am one with myself in a day.
all the time.
Oh God. It's
Yeah.
like that
So,
team. Viewers, listeners, if you listen to this class, couple of key points there. Number one, everything works at the right time for a
yeah.
space of time. Everything. And it's one of the traditional one of the things the traditional alcohol reduction industry don't do too well. They say that doesn't work. Don't try that. Don't try that. Don't try no
Oh,
alcohol beers.
no
Don't try.
rule book.
Yeah, that was number two. Throw out the rule book. There is no rule book in the history of civilization. There has never been a rule book that works for everyone
Yeah.
all the time. It's just not how it works. Number three, start dabbling with non-alcohol or even low alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
We've got to ditch this fixated mindset of I'm either a big drinker or I'm not. It's just not how it works. Start changing your alcohol routines. Start having a beer and then having a no alcohol beer and then having
Yeah.
another beer. There is so many things that you can be doing to change your relationship with alcohol. It doesn't have to be this cold turkey and I'm
I
also
think
not
that
relying on anything.
it's important to say, guys, like if you have become a habitual drinker, if it's, in the week or in the weekend, but if it's habitual, you got to realize that part of yourself, part of your actual self in there and alcohol have become one thing. Like they've fused together. Alcohol and yourself have become one thing. You can't just stop it. That's why you've tried and you can't. Simple as that, right? So, which means you've got to actually start to play with this relationship and see and find out with experimentation where the alcohol is propping up the self. Because it's about the relationship. So what I mean is like coffee is a good one as well. When people get addicted to coffee, the self has become caffeinated. When you become addicted to alcohol, the self has become intoxicated. And so you have to experiment and trial many, many, many different things and ways to figure out what alcohol is actually doing for you. Because when you figure out what it's actually doing for you and where it's propping up the self, you've got some power back. If you just think I'm a drinker or a non-drinker, you're in the dark. You'll be like that forever.
Mm. So, for example, on when you mentioned the self and you got to figure out where alcohol's propping up, you're suggesting, if I got this right, listeners can go past Coles or Woolies today, grab some no alcoholic seltzers or some soda, flavored soda water, or even just some low alcohol, heaps normal beers. They can have two to four of them tonight, whatever it is that they fancy. And so they might realize, oh, these do go down pretty well, but I'm really bored.
There you
And so they
go.
might be
There you
realizing,
go.
it's propping up the
Perfect.
part of me that's bored.
Perfect. Perfect, Tommy.
Yep. Nice. Mate,
or whatever, like angry, upset,
I
fucking yeah, whatever.
yeah. I wanted to keep this one pretty short and sharp. I want to encourage and invite everybody. It's something that we teach all of our 30-day detox challenge members. I've served over 3,000 people now on alcohol reduction journeys, and something I've always shared to them when it comes to starting your relationship with alcohol, whether it's starting a detox, whether it's choosing to never drink again, or whether it's just wanting to figure out what it looks like to change your relationship with alcohol, head to Coles or Woolies and get creative. Just buy at the minimum of three different non-alcoholic beverage options to put them in your fridge.
Beautiful.
I said to people that I said to people there's nothing worse than trying to go on a detox or an alcohol reduction journey. You open the fridge to get a salad, and to get past it, you got to get past a bottle of herb, a chilled vodka,
Uh,
and six cold beers.
uh, yeah, 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 yeah.
You know,
Uh,
Uh, have so we've Nat and I've noticed so many people change their relationship with alcohol by the simplicity of
yeah,
having alternate options in the
just
fridge.
yep, totally.
Different options to hydrate yourself, even
Uh,
different sugary drinks to kind of yes, it's suppressing self, and it's giving you different form of stimulation. Who
sure.
cares?
Who
Try
cares?
different things on, grab different beverages. Anything else to add there, Nat?
No, that was great. That was great. No rule book. Just keep it light, have a play, experiment with heaps of things. But just know that part of you needs alcohol, and if you think, and you got to work with that as a truth. Like, okay, I can't just turn this off. Part of me needs it. All right, I can accept that. Now move forward.
Mm. Yeah, kind of giving you permission to move into like
Yeah,
it's okay to be needy.
yeah.
Like,
It's a
and
deeper
that's probably a
discovery.
good thing to actually add before we wrap up. It's okay to be needy on things. It's okay to realize, oh, I need stuff. And the
Yeah,
question should then become like, well, what would I rather need? A non-alcoholic beverage or a double scotch? What would I rather need?
yeah. Nice.
It,
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it sounds like
Perfect.
what you were sharing with
The
it
weed
sounds like
pen.
what you
Yeah,
were
yeah,
sharing with an old client, yeah, of yours. It's like, what do I want? Do I want to be needy on workaholism, and cocaine midweek, or do I want to be needy on marijuana, which makes me grounded, content, and available for my family?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I love that. I've always been a big fan of that.
yeah.
All right, Tim, we might zip it there though, Nat, because we could get into a deeper discussion on that. We invite everybody to head out, grab some non-alcoholic beverages, try different
Yeah,
wines, non-alcoholic red wines, white wines. There's plenty of non-alcoholic beers that you can get. I highly recommend Great Northern Zeros, Carlton Draft Zeros, or my personal favorites are Heaps Normal, which are 0.5% low alcohol. I think they're the best in my opinion, if anyone loves a beer. Um, and go out there and experiment, team. Give yourself 15 to 30 days of enjoying those here and there and see what happens.
download.
Is drinking
Great
less
work,
and
team.
feeling fresh. See you same time, same place next week. Thanks, Nat. See you, mate.
Bye.